Hi, my name is Carl, and welcome to Pitch Points. Hello, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Pitch Points, True City fan, and all our friends out there. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. I see some people out there already. Just want to welcome you to the show. It's been a long time since I've done a show, man. And before I do that, though, I do want to talk about my friend Patrick, who, as you know, is right now getting better. He had surgery recently. Let me add Veda to the show. He had surgery recently. Hi, Veda. Welcome to the show. I can't hear you, Veda. I think you're on mute. Okay. Yeah. So while Veda fixes his device, I'll keep talking. But yeah, Patrick has gone through surgery, and he's on the way back on the mend. He's healing from a disease, and he's getting better. I'm going to share in the link a GoFundMe page that his friends have put up for him. If you can, please subscribe. Please go to that GoFundMe page. We'll put it on social media. Make sure that you can go there. Support as much as you can. $1 here, $1 there, $1 everywhere. It helps kind of build up the funds that he needs to take care of things, and also pay for the medical bills, etc. So obviously, as he's at home recovering, he can't work. So yes, while he has savings, we want to, as friends, we want to make sure that we can support our brother through this process, this difficulty that he's going through. So please, I put it in the chat. Please go there, donate whatever you can, $1 here, $1 there, $2, $3, whatever you can to help Patrick get back up to speed. But it's been a while that we've been here. Let me see if I can get Veda back on. He's going to rejoin in a minute. We're going to talk about my favorite competition, right? The Champions League. This is a ball that somebody gave me after we won the Champions League, right there. It's an original ball, match replica. And I absolutely love it. It's cost about, I think on the market, it's probably about $70 to $80, $90. Somebody gave it to me as a gift. And I keep it in my shelf next to my treble shirt in my library on the bookshelf because it's a special moment for me as well. I've loved this competition since I was very, very young. I adore it, even though, when I was young, didn't support City. But I just love the competition. It's what I grew up with when I was in Nigeria and in England at Istanbul Final 2023. Again, just a wonderful. I even have the sticker that's still there with the whole GPS tag. So we're going to talk about this competition that's starting this week, round of 16. While you're out there, please share, like the video. Let's see who can join us. Victor John, I see you out there. Victor, what do you think about the Cup of Nations final? The coach and the tactics that our so-called coach put into play, parking the bus in a final against Cote d'Ivoire. What do you think about that? Let me know what you think about that, and if you think that we could have done something different. to at least get a leg up in that game. Let me know what you think about that while we wait for others to join us on the show. Patrick, if you're watching, get well soon, buddy. Stay healthy. Let's see who else there are. I have Ron. How are you?
I'm doing good, Mr. Carr. How you doing, my bro?
I'm well, my brother. Good to see you, brother. Hongan is a fan of the channel as well. We have vigorous debates. Oh, we're all blues. We all love blues. I was just talking to Patrick, looking well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I just spoke with him the other day to see how he is. I just wanted to check up on him.
Absolutely.
He's slowly but surely getting better, and I'm glad to see him getting better anyway. And yeah, I mean, look, I'm taking advantage of everything. And I think the quote I got was when when I thought, let me make the most of this. I want to live every day like if it's my last. And when you do opportunity to stream of it, no matter how big or small, and I believe everything big started small. And I believe in my heart and my soul, Pitch Points will be among the best football YouTube content channels on earth. And I believe that.
Well, thank you, Hong. I mean, I just do it because I just love the game. I don't overthink it. I have a break, so it's not a. But thank you for the kind comments. We want to talk about the Champions League. I'm going to share my screen. I think there's a lot of background noise, Ron. So can you go on mute, and when I want to speak, just come back in. Okay. Okay. Cool. Good. So I'm going to share my screen, and then we'll talk about the Champions League. This week is the round of 16. Let's see what we have here. Make sure we're sharing. Excellent. Okay. So this week we have the round of 16 starting this week, the week of Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day to all those who are out there. There are 2 games this week, 4 games this week, on Tuesday and on Wednesday this week. We'll start off with the first game, Leipzig Real Madrid. Huang, what do you think about that game? How do you see that game going? Leipzig have been a problem to Madrid in the past. How do you see this game going? Are we underestimating Leipzig again? Are we? What do you think?
Well, I've been checking their league form. So they're a bit hit and miss at times. Yeah. I know they, they're 1 minute they're winning, 1 minute they're losing as well. But of course, to take into account, Real Madrid have lost at Leipzig last season, 3-2 in the group stage of the Champions League. I know Real Madrid have got a bit of injuries. They've lost their star man Bellingham, but at the same time, you would think Real Madrid are going to go through in both legs, but in the first leg alone, as we're in the present day, I think Leipzig can put up a fight and bring it to Madrid.
I mean, let me ask you this question. Everybody's raving about Madrid and et cetera. Is it the case of Madrid are really, really good, or La Liga is just terrible this season? I mean, Girona are second in the league, our baby sister club, and they're 3 or 4 or 5 points behind Madrid. How bad is La Liga this season, or is it that Madrid are better than everybody else? What do you think?
I like to think it's a little bit of both, in my personal opinion, because the way I see it is the quality of La Liga has been a bit poor in my personal view. I mean, I think everybody will have a different view on that, but I think Real Madrid, they have been consistently good. Yeah. And I mean, Girona, I think, they've been flying in La Liga. I know they lost 4-0 to Madrid the other day, but obviously not a disgrace to lose to Madrid. But I do believe, Real Madrid are stronger. But I think, especially when it comes to the Champions League, I feel they're missing a forward that can get them over the line in the Champions League, especially in tournaments where you need one big moment to get you on the line. Yeah. One bad moment can put you out of the Champions League.
Absolutely. And when Veta just joined us, Patrick just joined us. Patrick, Veta, let's give Patrick the floor. Patrick, how are you, brother? How are you feeling today?
Yeah, not so well, but I'm in bed, so my voice can still be heard. I think the standing up a lot, and some of the stuff I did has just drained me. So I was taking things very lightly, as my doctor said. I seem to be taking things very calm and lightly. That's my nature anyway. But anyway, I just had to sleep, but now I'm okay. But I was like, you know what? I'm not going to miss this. Do you want to swap my face and yours, because your face is covered by your sign?
Let's see if I can change that. Let me move
I think you just swap. You just your mouse, you just click on it and you just.
Yeah, let me see if I can remove that. But let's just keep. I mean, Veta, you're here right now, so carry on after Patrick speaks. Let me figure out the whole.
Yeah, no, great to hear from Patrick, and obviously from messaging. Speedy recovery, man. And yeah, don't overdo it. And even if you feel good, rest up. That's more important.
Nah, I'm good. I'm good, man. So, what are you? You're talking about Madrid and Leipzig.
Yeah, we're talking about that Madrid and Leipzig. That is, I mean, we talk about La Liga. Is it that Madrid is so good in La Liga? Is it Madrid is so good, or is it because La Liga is poor this season? That's an open question for both you and me. What do you guys think?
You guys are your cameras are top notch, isn't it? You're looking great. What was I about to say? It's I don't know. I'm waiting to see Madrid in the UCL because it's just I don't know. It's maybe I'm a hater. Maybe I'm hating. To be honest with you, the Jude thing. Now I've put my hands up. I think the kid is good because you look, as much as we might call him a fraud, but the thing is, he went to Dortmund and took over the Dortmund team. Now he's gone to Madrid and taken over the Madrid team. Obviously, it's an aging Madrid team, and obviously Ancelotti doesn't seem to rate Tchouaméni, who's a very good footballer. But I don't see why him and Tchouaméni don't see eye to eye. But I just want to see Madrid play in the Champions League against teams like Leipzig. Leipzig away is very difficult. Hopefully, them selling Sabitzer and selling Josko to us did not change a lot. It's just I'm looking forward to Madrid meeting teams in the Champions League to just see if that good. And I also want to see Jude in the Champions League. But I remember he dunked on us in the Champions League multiple times. So maybe the kid is actually good. So let's see what Madrid will do. If Madrid struggle, then I'll be able to say, you know what, maybe they're just bullies. They're just bullies in Spain. But I'm waiting to see how Madrid do, because let's not forget, as much as they're playing good right now, I still feel like they have been so lucky in certain games. They have been bailed out by Jude himself, to be honest. As I say, 20 goals in the season, amazing. But I want to see them play against a team that plays as a team together. Let's say, for instance, I want to see them play against a fit Man City. I want to see if they can be able to dislodge a fit Man City or a Liverpool side if they were in the Champions League, but they're not. So let's see how they go up against Leipzig. Let's not forget also just one thing before I go. Not before I go, I'll just be on mute. But I'm saying, let's not forget a better Madrid went to Leipzig and lost or drew, I think so. A better Madrid side.
That's what Huang was saying. Yeah, that's what he was saying, Patrick. Thank you, Patrick, for the comments. Don't stretch yourself too much, brother. You can, relax here, comment as you see fit, etc. We're streaming on my channel and his channel. So we're one family, one big team. Veta, to you. So how do you see this game going? How do you see the result? How do you see the scoreline? And how do you see who's going through, in your opinion?
Yeah. I mean, shout out to all the Blues in the chat, Blues on the panel. Looking at this game, I think it's kind of like what Patrick said. I want to see what they're actually like in Champions League. Like, obviously, they're doing their thing in their domestic leagues, of course, but let's see when all the lights are on and what you do when another team is fully prepared against you, and that goes for Leipzig as well as for Real Madrid. I think it's going to be a tight game though. Like, I think this is going to be one of those matchups where both teams try to figure each other out, but it again gets decided on the second leg. But I still give the edge. I know, even though it's away, I still give the edge to Real Madrid. They've shown to just find ways, even if it's late winners, or just find ways to seal out the game. So, I'll pay attention as much as I can, but given the time when this game's going on, I'm watching it like either later at night or maybe the next day. So
and this is the issue with the Champions League, right? I mean, the fact that you have to watch both at the same time doesn't give you the enjoyment of actually watching one and watching the other one.
Yeah,
it's a midweek game,
and I don't understand why they do it, because
it's due to timing. It's due to the midweek game. Do you start early? If you start early, you don't get the views on TV. If you start late, then it's too late for the guys to go to the stadium. So it's all about timing and scheduling.
See,
that's the issue.
Again, I'm not paid for this. If I were, I would consult and say, just delay it by 45. Like, give all Champions League enthusiasts or hardcore, whoever they happen to be, give them the first half to fully watch the one match, whichever one starts first, and then obviously you can choose on whether you're going to watch the next one or remain there, but you get that option. Both of them at the exact same time, I think it does a disservice.
Absolutely. And this is part of the whole Super League debate, right? The marketing and the structuring of the actual games itself doesn't allow you to generate as much revenue or eyes in the game. Marketers don't want to pay for 2 games where they pick one.
Yeah.
And they'll say, okay, this is what I want to play. I want, the big one, maybe it's Newcastle versus PSG. I'd rather pay for that one because more eyes will be in that game than play Madrid versus Leipzig, and then you lose that revenue. Now, if you split them, all of a sudden you're getting both eyes, both revenue streams from those 2 games, and you make more money. Think about the Super Bowl. You never have NFL games for the most part. Kind of, they're always one after the other throughout the whole day.
I got to join you. Mine, I don't have the life-size one, but yeah, I'm joining with the Champions League.
Here we go. Okay, so we think we're just going to go through Hong. Let's talk about the City game. And it's a question for both of you on this one, right? So I have this good debate with Protocol today around this game and what we're looking at in the future. I think, in my opinion, this game, we should go the strongest possible team. And here's why I think so. I think that we don't want to leave this game to the second leg, because in the second leg, we have Liverpool and United in between. And then we could have an FA against another Premier League team in that same period.
Gunalorian, this is why, and those of you, if you're just tuning in for the first time, subscribe to the channel, drop a like. This is why you tune in, because it's not just surface level breakdowns or analysis. This man's already looked ahead. He's looked ahead to see, look at this congestion that might happen fixture-wise in the future. So let's handle business. I totally agree with you. I agree in terms of, let's play our strongest. The fact that our players are healthy, let's see, let's see what they can all do with regards to putting the fear not only in Copenhagen, but in terms of who we may face moving forward, and give them another thing to kind of think about. I agree. Let's handle business on the first leg. If we can go 2-3 goals up, no disrespect to Copenhagen, because obviously they did their thing. They slapped United out of this, so they're a team to be respected. But yeah, let's handle business early.
The other part too, Hong, is the fact that Copenhagen this year are better than Copenhagen last year. And last year we got a red card and it was 0-0 away. Right? So they're better this year. Now, the fact is they haven't played a game in months. This will be their first game back after the winter break. So they are a little rusty, right? And we're in rhythm. But for me, I think that this is an opportunity for us to go there and hopefully play to our level and be able to get 3 points or 3 goals or more. And so the second leg becomes a dead rubber because, Huang, of the fact that we have a United, Copenhagen, Liverpool game early in March, right? Critical game. And the fact is, people say, well, the Chelsea game is on the weekend. In my opinion, the Chelsea game is at home. I think that's the least important game to me in the 4 that we have.
Okay.
Because of the schedule that's building up in March. Let's say we draw against Chelsea for all intents and purposes, right? We take a point. We're not out of it. Okay? We slap Copenhagen. Second leg is a dead rubber. You beat United, beat Liverpool at Anfield. All of a sudden, you're in. And then the good thing about this, Huang, is the fact that I've looked at the games potentially in the quarterfinal and the league games around that period. They're really good games for us. I challenge all of you guys to take a look at those games. If we make the quarterfinal, look at the Premier League games around the quarterfinal dates. They're really, really good games. I believe none of those teams are in the top half of the Premier League. None of them are.
Okay.
So all of a sudden, you take care of this business, it opens up the aperture for you to now rotate and use players for those 2 games, United and Liverpool, early in March. If you get through those games, it completely opens up for you. Then you slap in the FA Cup. So when we talk about these things, in my opinion, play the strongest team 60 minutes. Get it out there. Get a couple of goals. Rotate. Come back here. And then get to Chelsea and then play on. And what do you think, Hon?
Carl, I can't even disagree with you on anything you said. I do believe that tomorrow, play our strongest team. I have to acknowledge Copenhagen are in the last 16 for a reason. They got a positive result against Bayern away. They beat United at home. And they managed to get some good results against Galatasaray. So I do think play our strongest team, get the goals, get the game won, get the players off, rest them, get ready for the weekend. And of course, we do have some tough games like United at home and Liverpool away, plus the Copenhagen second leg at home. I think we do. And I do believe that Pep will show Copenhagen respect by playing the strongest team and showing Copenhagen that this is where you need to get to our level. That this is where you need to get to if you really want to be at this level. So, do believe Pep will play their strong side tomorrow, and hopefully get a couple goals to put the tie to bed.
Absolutely, Juan. And Vader, I was watching the Super Bowl last night with my son, and he was up till late. I think 11 o'clock or something. I told him, you have this one day to stay up late because you have school in the morning. He understood that. But what was interesting to me about that game was the fact that when you've won before, there is a knack and a desire to win again, right? There's a drive. I mean, that game, San Francisco were playing through, but Chiefs hung in there.
Yeah,
defensively hung in there. And when it counted, when it was time to flex the attacking prowess, Mahomes stepped up and played through.
Yeah.
And I like that to City, right? When it's time for us for that run in, when we know that we've been there before, they flex. It's almost like 49ers are like Arsenal, right? And City are like Chiefs in terms of Arsenal are flexing, when doing all they can do. Last season, they did all they could do. But when you've been there before and it's time to kind of crank the pressure up, 49ers collapsed. One or two mistakes, bang, they were out.
Yeah.
I think for us this year, this competition again, I mean, I don't see any team that really, if we play to our level, that can beat the team or go through. I just think that we're at that level. I know Pep is playing down the idea of, double treble, all that kind of stuff. I'm not saying we're going to get the treble. That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that right now in Europe, in a fully fit squad, I don't think anybody's as good as this team.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you. And even when you were talking about comparisons with the Super Bowl, we can't ignore experience. We really, really can't. Even in the world of sport, especially, there's a level of calmness, and maybe it's not even a matter of the players themselves, been there, done that, but it's the staff or it's the manager. Like, there needs to be strong elements within the club that have been there, done that, to be able to calm things down or show what's to be expected or just prepare for an upcoming situation. I agree. We had that. We had that in folds last season, and it's because of the past seasons of progression or disappointment or nearly getting there. But when it was so apparent to me, and I actually had to take a step back and recognize, when Real Madrid kind of weathered through what we did to them and had that last few minutes in the Champions League to get over the hump against us, there was a poise that they had. There was just like an understanding, like, you know what, we'll cope with this. We displayed that at the best level last season.
Yeah.
As much as Inter were, and I respect it when we talk about clubs that are probably threatening with regards to the Champions League, because of what happened to Inter and how well they're playing in their domestic league, I put them up there as well. Yeah. But when we played them, it was just like, no, we'll keep at it. We know we don't need to veer off what our approach is or which players we're going to trust to continue to pass the ball amongst each other and look to exploit. We were just so steady because of that experience. Whether Arsenal have gained that, I don't know, but the failure of last season would have gotten them better. We this season, I'm not talking treble either, but I agree with you. Our team fully fit, everybody should be scared. Everybody should be afraid of us. Everybody should be scared to be on the opposite side of the pitch to play against us as a fully fit City. Because we got it.
Yeah, absolutely. So how do you see this game going? What would you like to see in terms of a scoreline that's comfortable to come back to this for the second leg, given the schedule we talked about in March, Hon?
I would like to think a 3-0 away win tomorrow, because I don't see Copenhagen having 4 goals in them to get past us at their home away at the Etihad. I think, as I mentioned earlier, get the game won, bring off the players, bring in the squad players on and make it feel comfortable. I don't sense any complacency, any fear from them whatsoever. They know the job at hand. They know the job at stake.
Absolutely.
They want to show Copenhagen why City are world, European, English champions.
Absolutely.
And of course, and as I mentioned, showing Copenhagen respect for the hard work they put in to get here. But they're going to find out tomorrow, Copenhagen, that the level's just gone up.
Absolutely. And Vader, just again to you, how do you see tomorrow going generally? And I'm going to go just for a second, just going to put my camera off while you speak. I'll be back in 1 second.
So this game, one, I'm in the same boat. I would love to see a display where we get 3 goals. You know, and maybe it's the usual suspects. Like we get Haaland on the score sheet, we get KDB. You know, we get Foden or Doku in that mix, or Grealish, however Pep decides. But if we can get 3 goals out there, maybe even 4, that would be a great start to the first leg.
Yep.
And then know that coming home, especially in Champions League, because we're so defensively solid. Like we've been that's where we've been so clean. As much as it's been like up and down during the league, and we were looking at kind of like inconsistent play. When it came down to Champions League, our players were on it. So I'd be so ecstatic if we had like a 3-4-0, or even
there are 2 things, and I'm going to wrap up the City part next, and we'll go to the other games.
Wait, let me ask you a question, Carl, before you move on. Wait a minute. So wait, Tuesday there's only 2 matches?
Correct.
So why are they playing them at the same time?
That's what I'm saying.
This is, Patrick, when I talk about UEFA and the lack of imagination and how they make revenue and all these clubs complaining on the Super League, this is kind of what we're talking about, right?
Yeah, this doesn't make sense. Like come on. I know you're looking for peak hours. Why don't you start one at, like, you know how they start at 6:45? Why don't you start at 6:45, and then, because people are off work at that time and you can watch it. I don't get this. Now this is just useless. Like, I don't get it. I just
I'm sure they have their reasons, but 2 more things. So people forget, Veta, Patrick, and Huang, that we actually went invincible last season in the Champions League to win it. Very few clubs have done that. Let's be clear, right? We went invincible in the Champions League, playing Real Madrid twice, Bayern Munich twice to get to that point. These are supposed to be the European heavyweights who have had a track record of winning this competition since I was a little boy. And we went invincible against them away and home, plus the other teams that played as well, and the Inter as well, who've won it twice. It's no mean feat. And then to couple that experience, Wong, we now have not just this as champions, but then we have this as well. Okay? Now, for those who don't know what this is the replica of the FIFA Club World Cup trophy right here, the real one. Now, I was in Saudi last month. This was given to us as a gift by His Royal Highness, one of the Saudi princes, that this was given to us. This here and that gold badge, in my opinion, Veta, is one of the reasons why this team has the best away record in the Premier League, and they never stop. Okay. Ever since we have come back from the Club World Cup and being crowned champions of the world, you hear Pep say this a lot of times, you're champions of the world. Yeah. That badge means something on your shirt. We've had this spirit of, we're giving up. We're the world champions. We're going to come back. We go down a goal, we score 3. We go down to Newcastle 2, we score 3.
Yeah.
And I think that belief is something that you can't buy in the market. You have to experience it.
Yeah.
And these guys know. And it's a dangerous proposition to our rivals who have not been there or who were there a few years ago.
Yeah.
Because they know that coupled with this trophy, right, and the Premier League, right, plus the Super Cup and the Club World Cup, it's a whole different mindset and composure that this team has.
I hear that.
I'll just drop that there, let that resonate and sink, and let our rivals marinate on that, right, as we go along. But let's kind of move on to other teams real quick. We also know that on Wednesday, there are 2 games, Lazio, Bayern, Paris, and Sociedad. Very quickly, Juan, Bayern Munich, what the hell's going on?
Well, let's see. Squad cohesion's not there. I just think they do have a bit. I don't think there's a togetherness, in my opinion. I don't, and Leverkusen at the weekend were just better.
Yeah.
It's just simple as that.
Yeah.
And I hope for all the haters out there that told people that put Harry Kane in City's team, he'll sweep up the trophies like Haaland did.
I saw that. I saw that.
That is just ridiculous. Like, honestly, with the greatest respect, okay, Harry Kane is in a better team. I did not see him do anything.
Yeah.
And coupled that with Leroy Sané, he hit the camera off the Bayer Leverkusen score. That was the only shot on target that he had. So it just sums up their Bayern's evening.
Yeah. Don Smoke just joined us. Don Smoke, welcome to the show. We're talking about UCL for this week. Next week, we'll talk about the other games, Arsenal and the other games. But for this week, we're talking about the games on Tuesday and Wednesday. And you've talked about City. Just very quickly, Don Smoke, anything on City for the Champions League, this game tomorrow?
I think just the points that you marked regarding comebacks, and I can pinpoint to when exactly it started. I think when Madrid knocked us out of the Bernabeu, right? If you remember from there, right? Then early next season, Pep was saying that I learned a thing or two, right? And our team from there, right, is that thing of whereby we've understood that in the Champions League, every now and again, players have to stand up. And I think we learned that from Madrid, whereby the tie is not over until the 90 minutes are done. Whereas before, if we go on the back foot, normally the whole morale of the team would go down and we would lose. Whereby now, until the final whistle has been blown, we're still in the game, and we've learned that champions mentality from the champions of the Champions League themselves.
Yeah. And how do you see this Bayern Munich game tomorrow?
Bayern are in a very bad shape, and I think everything went down from Tuchel's appointment. Right? When you get a negative manager in a positive team, players become confused, because you must understand that players from Bayern Munich win the Bundesliga in pilot mode without even thinking, because they believe they are better than everyone else, and you can see that confidence that may be misinterpreted as arrogance by some when they normally play. But now when you bring in someone who begin to put doubts in players of which should be, if you saw the formation, these three would Bayern don't play a back three. They don't ever play a back three. Because hence is that thing we're talking about, a negative football. The moment you become defensive to an inferior team, it confuses the players, because there is no reason why Bayern Munich should be defending against Leverkusen. Yes, they're in good form. Yes, they're in good form, but they are not. It's like, for example, if Arsenal come to the Etihad, just because they slept West Ham 6-0 doesn't mean Pep is changing formation to a back five. Because you subliminally send a message to the player to your players that no, we should be defending these guys. Whereby it should be no, we should go on the front foot and they should adapt themselves to us, not the other way around. So I want to see what they do against Lazio.
Veta and Huang, I mean, again, speaking of Bayern Munich, do you think there's Bundesliga fatigue with Bayern Munich? And what I mean by that is, they've won it 10 times in a row. They almost lost it last year, if not for Dortmund's screw up in the last game of the season at home, which they bottled. Right? It should have been Dortmund winning that league last year if they had played their game and they drew 2-2 and Bayern Munich won it because Dortmund messed up. But is there a fact that, hey, we're so tired of winning the Bundesliga and our focus should be on the Champions League? Is that the case, or is it just the fact that Tuchel's just not the kind of manager, in my opinion, that is the right fit for Bayern Munich's attacking style? What do you guys think?
Yeah, I'll let Juan go first.
I think, I'm gonna I do agree when Nagelsmann got the sack last season. When Tuchel come in, I was like, yeah, I just knew this ain't gonna be a good one, right? Because if you think about it, Tuchel is yes, he does score goals, but he is defensive minded at times, and it just doesn't fit. like you think about it, like I've watched a lot of Bayern games recently, and they just, I don't know why, but they're defensively gone. They're not together. The cohesion. I just don't feel the 11 on the field are in sync with each other. That I feel like they've lost. I felt like they've lost at times. I felt like, you know, when the chips are down, no one's willing to roll their sleeves up and take it to and take the fight. You know, I mean, if I'm gonna be honest with you, Carl, Vader, Don, I hope you. I don't know if you guys watched the Leverkusen Bayern game, but I felt they just gave up. I feel like they just thought, what's the point?
Yeah.
I mean, did any of you felt that from body language wise from the Bayern players in that game?
Vader, what do you think?
Yeah, this is the whole thing. When Carl was talking about Bundesliga fatigue, I don't think it's amongst the players, but I do know from outside looking in, again, those that don't follow the league, it's just an expectation that Bayern Munich are going to win the league. It's been so standard. Almost, if we go back a couple years when it was Juventus. Oh, Juventus winning again? Okay. The sun's rising and setting like normal. Like, it's just one of those. So I don't think it's necessarily with the players, but I know that those that pay attention to the league and watch it, it's like they're expected to win. So this is where the pressure has like multiplied, because Tuchel wrongly was already labeled as one of the best coaches or upcoming coaches, or because of the result that he got in Champions League. Again, obviously because you win against Pep, it's bigger than life, right? But I think it was fraudulent because we knew this because we saw how he was performing in the league and how he was managing his club and the players. I think the players themselves aren't playing for him, because when looking at the most recent game, I agree, they did give up. They weren't playing to even get back into it. They weren't even playing to maybe leave a lasting message like we're not going anywhere. It was kind of like, it's not our day, we're conceding. And you don't want to see that. You don't want to see that in your players. So if Bayern end up just narrowly winning it last season to losing it this season, I don't think Tuchel has a future there.
Yeah, I mean the last goal was just awful. I mean, from almost the middle third, almost the halfway line, open goal.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. They're not playing for him, and when a player's not playing for the manager, don't believe maybe in what his approach is, or don't want to follow his instructions, you're done.
How do you guys see this game going? I mean, hopefully, Lazio, are they any competition for Bayern Munich? I mean, what do you think? Quickly.
Ooh, based off of form?
Yeah.
I think based off of form, this is going to be a good game. Like this will be like, oh, you know what? Because Lazio, they're not playing for anything in the domestic league.
I don't think they are.
Yeah, so I think it's kind of like, let's go play spoiler. We're at home. Let's disrupt things. Let's go for it. So, yeah, I mean, I hate that both games are playing at the same time, because now I got to choose between Bayern and PSG. But yeah, I think Lazio might do a little something to them.
Juan, what do you think?
I think I'll agree with Vader. Poor form from Bayern. I won't be surprised if Bayern concede tomorrow. If I'm going to be honest, not tomorrow. I mean next week. If I'm honest with you, I'm just going to go for a draw. Yeah.
Cool. What about finally? What about PSG Sociedad? I mean, PSG are lucky to even be in this competition. They were Newcastle were swindled out of this competition because of the last minute VAR intervention. But how do you see that going? This Paris Sociedad game.
You know, it's so interesting. You know, PSG have been eliminated for the last 16, like multiple times, and.
Yeah.
I mean, Sociedad have nothing to lose. All the pressure's on PSG, actually. So Sociedad will go there and thinking, listen, what have we got to lose? PSG are expected to go through. Let's go out there and cause a shock. And Roma Sociedad, they'll believe. And also, it is the battle of, I think Asia are going to be watching this game with real interest, because Kang Lee of Korea in PSG, Kubo of Japan in Roma Sociedad.
Ah, that's true.
So I thought I'm an Asian, so I've got my love for Asian players as well.
Absolutely,
so,
absolutely.
But I think
Jordan for winning the AFC.
I still think PSG will go through, but only just. But I think Real Sociedad they'll give a fight.
Veta, Don, what do you guys think before we wrap up?
The thing is, Sociedad, funny enough, they're not easy to break down. If you see even in La Liga, they don't concede much. It's normally draws. If you beat them, it's normally a narrow win. So, and which would be hard for PSG, because PSG, any team that has been defensively solid, PSG has struggled to do anything, literally, especially with the likes of Messi and Neymar leaving, and Verratti is not a constant in the lineup. They lack creativity of breaking down stubborn defenses. And this Sociedad team is well drilled on how to go in a shape and then transition from that shape, because they have attacking weapons. As you said, Kubo is one of them. They have many players up front who could be a threat. I think Andre Silva is there as well, the Portuguese striker. I think he's also one of them. So it's not going to be easy, man. This game could actually go to extra time, especially with away goals not being there. It may need the second leg extra time.
And the first leg is in Paris, right? Second leg is in.
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting.
I can't call it with this game. I'll be honest with you. I haven't watched much of PSG. I pay attention to La Liga more so because of Girona and catching some games. But I would agree with Don Smoke. Like, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy, and I think it's going to be even more apparent to why when we watch this. And again, I don't think many of us have PSG going far within this tournament, but it's going to be a reminder on why Mbappe needs to get out of there. Like, Mbappe's already. I know Messi was there beforehand, but he's wasted too many seasons at PSG. He needs to get out.
So that's where we are, guys. We've talked about the matches for this week, Tuesday and Wednesday. What we will do next week is review what we talked about today for this week, and then preview the week next week for the Arsenal and Inter and all the other clubs who are in the competition. That way we look back and then look forward for the other ones. I don't want to spend too much time. We did about 30 minutes, which is good. And this is kind of what we do. Don't forget to, on Thursday, there is one of my favorite competitions, which is the Europa League playoff. There are some big games. And that's a knockout. That's not like, it's knockout, right? You're out for the next stage to qualify for the round of 16 for the Europa League. That's always more spicy, in my opinion, than the games we have sometimes in a round of 16 in the Champions League, because teams are basically more equal and you see lots of mistakes. So we'll look at that as well. We'll review that and also preview the games for the week after. I want to thank everybody for joining us today. Juan, thank you for joining us. I hope we have you more, my guy, on the show. Champions League, Patrick and I do this a lot. Happy to have Veta here as well. Don't Smoke, as usual, coming in. Thanks for your support. And Patrick, please get well soon. We love you. We miss you. We want you back as soon as possible.
Love you, Patrick, man.
All right. And for those, I put in the chat, I put the link to his GoFundMe page. Please, if you can, a $1, a $2, $3, £1, whatever you can to support him through this journey. He's been through a lot recently, and he's getting better day by day. So until then, Juan, you want to say bye to us?
Yes, I just want to say thank you so much, Carl, Veta, Don, for having me on the show. This competition I love so much. Can't wait to see the boys in action tomorrow. And it's back, and let's make the most of it tomorrow. Enjoy the match, and I can't wait for the games this week. So, guys, and also, don't forget, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, smash it up, spread it out to all over the world. We want to get this channel to be the best football content channel on earth.
Well, I have my friends with me. I have Don Smoke. Don Smoke, any last words before we run?
No, man. Big up everyone for hopping along at this hour. And Patrick, we have in our prayers, brother. Get well soon. And that's about it, man. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
Veda.
Facts. No, same thing, man. The way we show support, let's continue to do that in every way, even if it's small, but everything counts. And man, good to have a chance to talk some ball in the middle of the workday. So thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. And guys, don't forget, next week we'll do a review and a preview of the week after. And for all the Man City fans out there, as Ian Cheeseman will always say, bloody heck, it's good to be a Blue, isn't it? Look at this. See you next time, guys. Thank you very much.